Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Mr. Ian Teaches English. This is a surprise live stream just for a few minutes, just to test some new lighting that I'm doing, as well as some new software. So we're going to take just a moment to do this, and it's also something that I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about creating a series that is about reading, so I can read in English, you can hear good pronunciation, and also you can ask questions about it if you have questions. So, sorry, I'm trying to look at you, but I'm also trying to use this new software that I have. So excuse me if I'm looking away from you for just a moment. So let's see if this works. I'm going to go here and switch to The Scandal in Bohemia. Now, if you are in my in-person class right now, we are talking about Sherlock Holmes. So we haven't talked about The Scandal in Bohemia. We are doing The Second Stain, but we finish The Second Stain next week, and we're going to start The Scandal in Bohemia the week after. The reading that we use is made a little bit easier for English learners. This is the original English that Sherlock Holmes was written in. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit. You can follow along the screen here, and I'll just do this for a moment, just as a test, just to see how the software is doing. Is the software working? And the lighting and everything. So I hope that everything looks okay on the screen here. There we go. That looks a little better. All right, so let me begin and go ahead and read a few paragraphs here for you. If you have questions about this, please ask. I am your online English teacher, so if you have questions, please let me know. All right, A Scandal in Bohemia. To Sherlock Holmes, she was always the woman. I have seldom heard him mention her under any other name. In his eyes, she eclipses and predominates the whole of her sex. It was not that he felt any emotion akin to love for Irene Adler. All emotions, and that one particularly, were abhorrent to his cold, precise, but admirably balanced mind. He was, I take it, the most perfect reasoning and observing machine that the world has ever seen. But as a lover, he would have placed himself in a false position. He never spoke of the softer passions, save for a gibe and a sneer. They were admirable things for the observer, excellent for drawing the veil from men's motives and actions, but for the trained reasoner to admit such intrusions into his own delicate and finely adjusted temperament was to introduce a distracting factor which might throw a doubt upon all his mental results. Grit in a sensitive instrument, or a crack in one of his own high-power lenses, would not be more disturbing than a strong emotion in a nature such as his. And yet, there was but one woman to him, and that woman was the late Irene Adler, of dubious and questionable memory. There we go. So again, this was just a test. I do have a plan to do live streams where I read books, so you can ask about the structures, maybe vocabulary, but more asking about the structures that you see. And this way you can hear something, hear it pronounced well in proper English pronunciation. I'll try to read slow, and then you can ask questions as structures come on the screen, and you can learn a little bit more English. Now, this English level is pretty high. This English level is difficult, so I will not be reading books like this. I will be reading books at a lower level where you will understand most of it, or if you don't, you can ask questions. But I needed something for the test, and so I chose something that should be familiar to my in-person and online classes that are happening right now. But that was it. That was a test. If you came in, hello. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a question about any of this, or if you are interested in a series where I do read and we can talk about the grammar that we see as we're reading, please let me know. Even if you have a suggestion for a book. I have some ideas, but if you have suggestions, I'm very happy to hear them. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here.